Hey guys, it's JustToby here again, and welcome back to another guide for Hydra. This guide is going to be a bit more detailed than my one yesterday. Yesterday, the boss had been out for an hour or so. Still quite new to it, but the mechanics are the same, but I'm going to go into more detail. So we've got the welfare setup with the Slayer Helm, Glory, Black Dragon Hide, 200 GP stone boots. No point going for granite, they cost millions, they're not really needed. Once you get the hang of this, you won't take any damage anyway. Rune crossbow, shield, you want Odium ward or God book, essentially whatever good item you can use in your shield, but you don't want a negative range effect. I got ruby bolts and also some dragon bolts, and then some Barrow's gloves. If you do have a bit more money to spend than this, I'd recommend something like this setup, maybe without the Dragon Hunter crossbow. So Carol's, blowpipe, Archer's ring, once again Odium or God book are all good choices, and if you do go for an Archer's ring, make sure it's imbued for extra +4. Now when you enter, this is phase 1. He will use one of 2 attacks, either magic or ranged. He will use that attack 3 times. He will spit acid at you. He will then change attack style, and once again he will use that attack 3 times. He may do a special attack 2 or 3 times, it could be more depending on how long it takes you to kill him, but once or twice is usually about the regular. I'm only 95 range, so yeah, it'll be fine. And you want to lure him onto the red square. The reason you want to lure him onto a red square is it will make him weaker and you will do a lot more damage. You'll be hitting non-stop 15s, 20s as opposed to 5s to 8s. Once you do a decent amount of damage, he will turn into his second phase, i.e. his blue electric phase. Once again, you want to lure him onto a square, this case being the green square. To avoid his special attack when he uses this one, what you want to do is you just want to hug a wall and run up. You'll see me do this in the video during the demonstration. Once again, this can happen once, twice, 3 times, depending on how long it takes you to kill him. At about half HP, he will turn into his third phase. This one is essentially kind of like Vorkarth. So what he will do, he'll segment the room with firewalls on either side of you. What you want to do is just walk around, never backtracking on yourself, and you'll not take any damage. If you do take damage, you will take after burn damage as well. What you want to do is just kill him in between hits and you should be fine. Once again, can happen once, twice or 3 times if not more. And then you come to his last phase, also known as phase Jad, or his 4th phase. He will use mage or range respectively, but what he will do is always use the next attack. So he will attack with mage or range and then use the opposite attack. He will do this 3 times and then he will spit acid, and he will use the attack that he was originally going to use before spitting acid, so don't change prayer. And then once again, this can happen multiple times depending on the speeds. Don't get tripped up by this one. I've done it several times, panic eating, same as on Jad. Just keep your cool, change your prayer, eat when you can, don't panic eat, because that's when you will die. Trust me, I've done it. Okay, so once again guys, just make sure please that you do have your stone boots or granite boots on, otherwise you will die. You will take non-stop burn damage and it's just not a fun time. Just make sure you got it and you'll be good. Especially if you die, make sure you have a spare pair, because if you do come back, everything in the chest that you lose will disappear if you die before collection. And I said this in another video, but billions and billions and billions of gold has been lost. I've seen it all on Twitch. It was very funny but very unfortunate. And you get it for this dude for 100k, but we want to run past him, pot up before we go in, and put a protection prayer on and hope you get the right one, which I didn't. So he's going to do 3 range attacks and then he's going to switch to mage after spitting acid. Once again guys, the mechanics are the same every time. Oh, bit of lag here, sorry. There you go. Did I miss an attack? I don't think I did. Yep, I did. Goddamn lag. So once again, 3 attacks, and then we'll change. Wow, okay. Alright, so Ruby Bolt's welfare is meta, I guess. 200 damage in 2 hits, boys. That's quicker than any blowpipe kill I've done. So lure him onto the green square. Once again to do more damage. Here's a special attack. You want to run along the wall as I mentioned. Make sure you keep changing prayer as well. lag again. It's nice running along this wall because it keeps him on his square. If you run the other wall, he'll go onto his blue square, and you never want him to go on his own colour. He will become stronger. Another 100. Man, this is just ridiculous. I think Ruby Bolts is now going to be my new gear setup. Who needs a blowpipe, eh? So onto the blue square, as I mentioned earlier. And he's just roared, so he's going to be doing his special attack where he has his firewalls any second. It's about half health. Yep, there you go. So it's going to divide the room. I like to walk up to the flames just to maximise my space with the fire following me. Hopefully I don't mess this up. Oh, misclick. And just get some hits in. The fire's no longer following us, so we're free to do some damage. He'll probably, at this speed, do this one more time before changing phase. Unless I can get a cheeky 100. Nope. Guys, when there's one flame left like that, you can run for it without taking damage, but I don't like to risk it. Once again, if he didn't change into his Jad phase, I would have lured him onto the square. As I mentioned, he will just alternate attack styles, so mage, range, but he will, after 3, do that spit damage, so you can preempt it. I didn't, because I'm trying to focus, but yeah. And as I mentioned, he will, when he spits, he will revert back to the style he was originally going to use instead of spitting, so don't change your prayer. I do it quite often where I just completely forget and change. And then just, yeah, just get the kill, boys. Easy. That was actually a really good run. I'm really surprised. That time is probably not far off my blowpipe times. Yeah, okay, so not much slower. Really good trip. Of course, guys, add more gear, remove gear, do whatever you feel necessary and required for you. But yeah,